Hi guys. So often, like whenever I am in touch with any of our users, we do have a few set of preset signals that you can catch, filters that you have available on platform that you can utilize to get your first list started. But often, like as you go further in your outbound, you start exhausting your TAM. There will be a requirement wherein you'll have to find very specific people to reach out to, right? So in those scenarios, how do you leverage our platform? So because these things are like hyper specific, like you might try to find those very specific filters on some other platform as well. Chances are you will not find anything. You will find like something similar, but this is sort of one of the core competencies of our platform, right? You can catch custom filters, custom signals. So just wanted to like walk you through a sample scenario so as to give you some context as to how you can set something similar up on Bitscale, and maybe give you some inspiration, some ideas that you can work around, or if you are stuck and are trying to like set something similar up, you can always reach out to us and we can ideate together, uh, maybe brainstorm together as well, right? So right now the process would obviously begin with a starting list. So how I usually recommend like we operate in these scenarios is we'll have a starting list of few companies, ICP companies probably. I'm pretty sure like if you are so deep into your outbound process that you need some workflow like this, you would have a general idea of what companies work well for you. Now, this might depend from company to company. Like, for example, a testing company would want to reach out to, by testing, I mean a testing automation company would want to reach out to, what do you call, companies that are obviously in a product space, like product based companies, and have like bigger teams, because those are the ones that actually want to automate their testing aspects and maybe have the dev requirement for them to like get rid of the testing bandwidth, etc. Like something like that. Like in our case, it boils down to the fact that any company that is doing outbound is sort of our ICP. So we have a very nice TAM in that context. But yeah, any company that does outbound is our ICP. So it generally simply translates to the fact that any company that is like 100 to like 5,000 employees can fall in our TAM, because the only thing that we really check for is the fact whether they can afford us and are they doing outbound or not. So not a very good example, but yeah, you understand what I'm trying to say. But if maybe I want to do a very specific kind of outreach, in those cases, I would want to catch some custom filters, custom signals, and would want to reduce that list to sort of a pecking order to have some high intent, high value accounts available on the ready that I can work upon. Okay, enough pretext. So I'll just start with a basic list. I'll just take my example itself. So 200 to 500 employees, and locational. Yeah, we do prefer for our users to be in US. Other than that, industry type not really relevant. We have been like reaching out to software folks, but it's not really that much of an issue from our end. So this works for now. I'll just review the result. Right. So we have a pretty huge list already available now. I would say 68,000 accounts. Like that is a huge list. So I would want to like snip this into a smaller list for my outreach. I will just import this into my new grid. Now, once I have the list of accounts available, I need to decide what factors do I want to filter this on. So, one could be obviously companies that are maybe hiring SDRs, right? So that I can understand, okay, they're hiring new folks. They might want to ramp them up faster or have them perform better. So they would be looking for tools like us. So that could be one enrichment that we can put. For that, I'll just head over to company level filters or simply just search here, but I can just find the active jobs function right here. And we'll pass the company company LinkedIn URL, sorry, save, and run for the first 10. By the way, whenever you do find company, we have sort of like a preset column readily available for the enrich company aspect, which is like super relevant, to be very honest. I think this is something which is like a bread and butter for our workflows, because this gives you the initial idea of what the company does, their information, their like super valid links, because you will not find a more accurate source of information. This is live data from LinkedIn. So let's move this to the side. I'll also run this for the first 10 rows. All right. Next, I'll just set up a small GPT layer and I'll find that AI enrichment, GPT for fast. Now mini works in this sense. I'll just go through the LinkedIn jobs dump and find companies hiring for sales roles. Okay, the prompt is a little lackluster here. Rather than find companies, I'll just check whether at company name is hiring for sales roles, and LinkedIn jobs dump I'll pass here. Perfect. Just save this and run. Okay, I should have put an output format as well. Is hiring for sales. True and false. Save. All right. Perfect. We have the responses here. We'll just. All right. Okay, so only one of these guys are hiring for sales actually, which is GitHub. So this is sort of a this breaks my list down into a very small chunk that I can like heavily focus on and iterate on, send highly targeted campaigns, etc. Another thing that you can consider in this scenario would be something like what kind of software they're utilizing. So we pair very well with CRMs such as Salesforce and HubSpot. Especially our Salesforce capabilities have increased multifolds in the recent months. So maybe we can also see if they are utilizing any kind of specific CRM. For that, I'll set up build to it. And we'll just pass the company URL here, save. First in rows. Okay, I get a list of what do you call all the front-end tech stack at least that they utilize. And this would also include software platforms that they use majorly. But yeah, over this, I'll first initialize the technologies. I'd like doing that so that any GPT model that I ask to operate on this list does not hallucinate in any way. So while a simple passing of this dump would also have worked, but for now, if we have the option, might as well use it. And I'll have another GPT mini here. Yeah, enrichment, GPT mini, and check whether Salesforce or HubSpot is mentioned in the below list, right? Now just tag the technologies list is mentioned and true and false, save. Since this is GPT mini, right? Like it's like 0.1 credit per run. So it's extremely cheap. So where like you might be paying like heavy bank to some other platforms for these hyper specific use cases. But on our platform, since we have the capability of scraping the entire web, we have tech stack information, we have hiring information, anything that you can get from LinkedIn, clubbed with this small GPT layer, you can actually create many complex filters inside the grid itself. So just start with a huge list. We anyways like have free searches available for almost all of our plans. I think even in our like lowest tier plan, we have like 20,000 monthly searches available. So you can start with those 20,000, sort of chisel them down to a smaller list of accounts and then build from there. So I'll just add this as a column. Okay, they're all using the GPT thing. So this list would generally translate into me focusing on just one specific account, which is GitHub, which is like super relevant for us. They're hiring for sales roles. They use the CRMs that we partner well with. So that could be a very nice little outreach. Along with this, if there's something very specific that you want to catch, like for example, whether a company has a cart feature on their website, right? Or something very specific, you can utilize a bit agent for that, right? So as a matter of fact, I'll just ask whether I'll just use bit agent here and check whether at the website has a login feature, right? So maybe I just want to clarify or make sure that the companies that I'm reaching out to actually have a product platform or not. So this could be a very good intent signal to see if they have a login feature or not. If they do, there's a very high chance that they are a product platform based company, right? So we'll just has login and true false, save, close. Okay. Now this is another layer of validation for us. So each of these filter chip away accounts that we don't want to reach out to, or even if they don't chip away, we can like utilize them to score accounts or allot them different pecking orders or allot them into different campaigns based on what kind of filter we found relevant, right? So this is just a general idea of how you can utilize the platform to perform very custom searches. You'll find your initial data list on Bitscale itself. It's just the custom filters that you want to set up, and that is what you'll be paying for. So do test this out. If you have any use cases that you like to implement or have questions around, you can reach out to us. Our support channel is always open and we'll love to help you out. Cheers. Bye.